Oh yeah, we rolling. Let's get this mic set up. This shirt is very loose, so if I film this video and I realize after watching it that the audio is all over the place, next time I'm either gonna wear a different shirt or I'm putting on a hat. But what is going on, man? How you doing? Man, some good water to start the day. Let's go. Currently noon, 12:20 to be exact. August 4th. Long weekend here in Canada, at least here in my province of BC. And we are back at it with another rice bag video. I was originally going to do some work on the table, but I figure I might need one more day of just recovery because my arms are a little sore. And I know if I were to film some content today, even if it was light work, that tomorrow I would probably be screwed. And I'd rather get an actual really good workout in as opposed to me doing 2 or 3 sets. And why are you filming me while I'm filming a YouTube video? Get your phone out of the way, dude. So yeah, I was originally gonna do a workout, but I'm not extremely, I just know if I work out right now and I do any type of movement, if it's cupping, back pressure, pronation, supine, whatever, I'm gonna screw myself for tomorrow. And I'd rather film and actually have a good workout as opposed to not. And for those who have ever filmed while working out, it is a struggle. You spend more time filming and trying to set up your camera gear than you do actually working out. So besides that being an issue, I would not want to be injured. Yeah, let's talk about some things. So I do have somewhat of a list, if you want to call it a list. A couple things I do want to touch on. Auden Larratt versus the Korean Hulk. Ooh, maybe I can save. Oh, that's a potential. And then you know what? Yeah, let's just talk and see what goes on there. And also, I'm in the midst of setting up a podcast or a YouTube live for next week post East versus West 14 with Ozzy, the Armwrestler. So for those who want to tune in, either follow me on Instagram or stay tuned on my YouTube channel because we will be going live post East versus West 14. It should be interesting. I've seen a lot of them. I've heard a lot of them. I think we've heard about each other. But I did get a comment recently in one of my videos. Actually, it was the Criticize Me video. And one of the criticism points was, I'm not seen on any other channels, or I'm not, I guess maybe that could be the point. Like, I'm not really, I'm not putting myself fully out there. So I figured, why not get in touch with some people and try to make some things happen. I have spoken to Ozzy, the Armwrestler, in the past through Instagram DMs, never actually spoken directly to him. So it'll be interesting to see post East versus West 14. Stoked. So yeah, I guess we can somewhat get into this matchup that was just broken. So we have, we have Auden Larratt against the Korean Hulk. Wow. Initial thoughts? It's interesting. It's very interesting. You got to think of it from this standpoint. Auden, obviously he's an up-and-comer, following his father's footsteps. Devin did very well against James. I think he surprised a lot of people with the James matchup. It was an exciting matchup. But the Korean Hulk, you guys should look him up. The guy, I don't know if he's like a world record bench presser, but I from my understanding, he is the strongest man in Korea. I was going to say North Korea. I think I think it's South Korea. I don't know if he'd be chilling in North Korea at this time. So yeah, Auden versus the Korean Hulk. I mean, the Korean Hulk is essentially, from the matches that I've seen, it seems like there's a lot of back pressure, a lot of in-arm wrestling. So he's like, I think his strongest move is almost a king's move, which is kind of surprising. The thing is apparently the Korean Hulk has a ton of arm wrestling experience. Apparently he's been arm wrestling for a long time. And he's been arm wrestling and beating some fairly high-level athletes. And just with this information alone, and just his sheer size, I'll look him up here in a sec. I think he's like I don't want to say his weight. Let's just look it up here. Let's get Siri on here. The Korean Hulk. Okay, Instagram. No, that's definitely not him. All right, so let's click on this. Oh yeah, this is him here. Guy's massive. Does it say any of his stats here? Okay, here's one. 684-pound bench press. The #1 bench press in Asia. That's wild. Here's a video of him on his Instagram. I'll actually link his Instagram down below so you guys can check him out. But he essentially overhead presses 200 kilograms. It's wild. Then he has a video of him, like it literally says, eating is like cardio for me, no bulk, no life. And he's essentially eating the whole restaurant. So the guy's big. He looks crazy strong. I mean, he also looks very big. I'd love to know his weight and size though. It doesn't say here. But if I was to guess his weight, it's definitely over 300 pounds. That's not even a question. He might even be in that. I mean, I could be way off, but I would have to assume he's probably sitting around 350 pounds. So now Auden's going from James, English, who originally, before they even, like right when that match was announced, I had James murdering Auden all day. And as the match approached, I think, I ended up switching my mind towards Auden. And Auden made it look fairly easy for the most part, at least outside of the strap. But the Korean Hulk, I think, is going to be a much bigger problem. I know Auden is up and coming. I mean, look, as of right now, just prediction, and I'm going to do some research. I'm going to look into this, but initial thoughts, I do see Auden losing this matchup. And listen, I'll do a predictions video a little bit later on. No disrespect to Auden, and essentially no disrespect to the Korean Hulk or vice versa. But I don't see Auden winning this right now. Biggest reason, I think the Korean Hulk is going to be a little bit too strong when it's going to come to up high and a little bit of the inside. Because essentially, from what I've seen on the videos of the Korean Hulk, he lines up, 1, 2, 3, go, and it's essentially a hook. And if he doesn't get that hook, he just drags over. And I do know, and this is fact, Auden's hand is going to be dominant. It's going to be better than the Korean Hulk's. He's going to be more technical. He's going to be better in the setup. He'll be fighting for everything. I think there's a chance Auden even might make the Korean Hulk a little tired, make him sweat, maybe like a Levon 2.0 with the Hermes matchup. But I guess without doing any research, initial thoughts, I don't see Auden winning. Yeah, I don't know. I think just sheer size, horsepower, I think his inside game is going to be a little too strong. Korean Hulk, of course. But if Auden were to win, I can see Auden winning by hand control, pronation, probably a little bit higher on the back pressure. I think Auden's going to have a lot more like from the hand up when he's pulling back. Endurance, stamina he should have. There should be no issue. So we'll see. We'll see. Should be interesting. Man, the problem with doing these like rice bucket videos is I spend a lot of time talking, and then when I'm done my point, I realize my forearm has absolutely no pump. Let's see if I can bring this up here. Let's see if we can get deep in this guy. Oh, yeah. That's way better. Woo. Yeah, that's a lot better. Jeez. That's exactly what I need. Yesterday, I was early morning and long weekend here, 3-day weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday weekend, and I did not feel like filming. Little sore in the arms. And I was talking to my girlfriend, I was just saying, look, I don't think I'm going to work out, but just something tells me I should. I'm like, the table videos I've been doing, you guys have been really liking them. The watch time has been going up, the average duration, the click-through rates, and the subscribers. That's the biggest thing. The comments as well. So I said, look, I'll probably just throw some music on, take a pre-workout, just chill. Not gonna do anything, just not do anything like too crazy and just play around. And that's exactly what I did. I filmed the workout in one straight clip, well, 2 clips because my battery ended up dying. And when I uploaded the video, it did well. I think as of this morning, I looked at the analytics, the video, click-through rate gone up. The average watch time's a little bit up. I gained 3 subscribers. And I know I talk about this a lot, but you have to also consider from my standpoint, I'm very small on YouTube. I have just over 6,000 subscribers. And for me to be gaining 3 subscribers off a video, that's freaking awesome. I have no viral videos. I think the highest viewed video, which got demonetized because I ended up using some Brian Shaw footage, was actually very recently, hit like 22K. Not bragging, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but I'm just saying the fact that I just told myself, just do it anyway, see what happens, and then as soon as I upload the video, a day later, 3 subscribers. So it really makes me want to just keep making these videos. And like I've said, I was gonna say in the past, actually very recently, I do plan on leaving the military in September of 2026 to pursue this full time. So the way I see it is, look, build a foundation right now, stay consistent, just try not to put too much pressure on myself. And if I can somewhat build a base right now, then in 2 years from now, once I release, even if I'm at 10,000 subscribers, 8,000 subscribers, I'll at least have built a much better foundation than if I were to just kind of take my time and throw a video out every once in a while. If you are also wondering why September of 2026, well, I guess I'll break it down here for you now. Financially, it's going to be a very good time. It's going to be the best time for me to do it. Unless if all of a sudden my channel were to take off now or there'd be some drastic change in my life, there's just no way I could leave now. I'm also deploying in next year, so July, which I'm going to make a video on that actually very soon because there's some arm wrestling stuff to that I really want to talk about. And if you do see a video of something to do with deploying or military or just something along those lines, click on it because it's going to impact the arm wrestling world or the arm wrestling community as a whole. And I really want you guys to see that video. It might be a little bit boring, so I might be talking, but I do want you guys to at least listen in. So if you have to just listen to it before you go to bed, slap it on. I promise you it'll be worth it. And the other biggest thing too, the reason why September of 2026, which, hey look, I'll be the first to say, I'd love to leave right now. Not that I hate my job, but I would love to leave right now to pursue this full time because if I'm able to make a career out of, making content and being able to be financially free. I'm not talking about making $1 million per year. I'm not talking about having a Lamborghini. I'm just saying if I can do this, talk to you guys on a Lens, have it uploaded, and just receive good feedback and from a very supportive community, I'm all in. I think it's awesome. And that'll also make me want to make better content. But it's more the fact of just being able to be free. I think that's the biggest thing behind this. Sometimes I don't want to make videos like anyone else doesn't want to do anything else. Sometimes I don't want to have to be posting on social media, but I'm also taking a risk now because I feel like in the future, this could also have an impact. Anyways, so to get to the point, my third point, which I've been trying to get to, let's get a forearm pump in first. Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Woo! So September of 2026, why then and why not July of 2026 or why not this year, why not next year? Well, in the military, once you have served, I think it's 6 years? Yeah, 6. 2020. Yes, so once you have served 6 years in the Canadian military under pensionable time, you receive a grant, a government grant. I don't know if it's through the military or through the government itself, but you do receive a grant, don't quote me on this, $40,000 to $60,000 of post-secondary education financials. What does this mean? This means that I can pursue something academically outside of the military once I actually release, and the military will cover up to $60,000 for schooling. First question you're probably asking, well, what does that have to do with arm wrestling, or what are you going to be doing in school? I'm actually not going to go back to school, but with my pilot's license currently finishing up, I might use the money the military will give me to finish off or complete a commercial pilot's license. That will just essentially allow me to work for a company and get paid. That's all it is. But if I were to release today or tomorrow or the day before September of 2026, I think it's September 24th to be exact, but let's say I release September 23rd, the day before, I'm not granted that money because I do not have 6 years of pensionable military time. Yeah, and actually, even speaking about pensionable time, I was actually in the military previous to that as well, in 2015. 2015. Wow, it's been a long time. Well, 9 years ago. 9 years ago. 9 years ago, I had joined the military, East Coast of Canada. I had done almost, 3.5 years in the Canadian Navy. I then released in 2019, so that was like my 3.5 year mark. And then at the time I had taken my pensionable money out because I was moving here and I needed some cash. I was in a very different position in my life. So technically speaking, I could not, if it wasn't for me taking that money back, I could actually release right now and just go full time on this. But then that leads me into my next point, I guess, which even if I were to release right now, I personally don't feel comfortable with doing this full time with the base that I built. I feel like there's still a lot more to go just to build some type of a foundation. And you have to also consider too, when I do release, it's not if, it's legitimately when, which September 2026, I'm definitely going to be having a much different structure. Things might be a little bit different, but a lot more effort is going to be going into the YouTube videos. I'm thinking, and you know what? I'm gonna put it out here. Someone can use this idea. I just don't, take it if you want it, but I'm gonna probably do this anyway unless things change. But I think I'm going to have something along the lines of, maybe 1 day a week. This is very rough. This could be actually very different by the time it actually comes around. But I'm legitimately thinking something along the lines of, example, X day a week, let's just call it Monday. Sit down vlog like we're doing now, super chill, just talk about arm wrestling, whatever. Wednesday, full training video. Could be an hour and a half long, like I've been doing, just easy to film. And then maybe like a Friday, Saturday, something along the lines of like a full-on arm wrestling day in the life vlog. So food, a little bit of travel, whatever, like legit, proper arm wrestling vlog style. And apparently as of recently, maybe even some lives. So I think that's very likely by the time comes. But I guess that's just to give you guys an idea of what exactly the future entails. I did say I'd make a video on it in the future, but there you go. That's essentially the plan. So to put it up in a nutshell, to arm wrestle full time, and I'm also too, I was speaking to my girlfriend about this. So my girlfriend does real estate here in Victoria. She is a real estate agent who does residential and commercial. And she is possibly going to be, not possibly, it's very likely she'll be opening up a brokerage at some point in the near future. Saying that, this also means too that she is able to work abroad if needed. And because she is also part of the EU, so the European Union, it also allows her to work in Europe and or travel there for extensive periods of time. Well, what does this have to do with me? Oh yeah, that's a good pump. Yes, what does it have to do with me? Well, part of the leaving the military and pursuing the whole arm wrestling route is to legitimately just travel, meet people, create content abroad, Europe, the US, and possibly other parts of the world. In a nutshell, you can quote me on this, don't quote me, however you want to put this. The plan, in quotation marks, if things were to go perfect, nothing ever goes perfect, would be to essentially release. This is not in order, but let's say go spend 5 months in Europe throughout the winter, arm wrestle across Europe. I'm talking from like Poland, Hungary, Portugal, Spain, create all types of content there, possibly even own a villa or some type of like Airbnb or just something to stay at during this time, or even like buy a van or rent a van and just travel around and film. And then the other 6 months or 7 months would be here in Canada throughout the summer, where with my pilot's license, I can actually film traveling to arm wrestling tournaments, focusing on a second channel for aviation as well, just like it's a whole different scene. And then on top of that, just doing like some side gigs as of like already stuff I do, like yacht detailing, maybe little side jobs to possibly help out financially depending on where things are. And then throughout this time, my partner can work on real estate and do what she has to do, and helps to also support what I really want to pursue. And with a long period of time of doing this, I think it could possibly work. I think it's extremely, extremely doable. The biggest fear, I guess, if you were to look at it from like an outside picture, is as an individual, I'm leaving a full career, a pension, a full government pension. I am leaving a secure job. As an aircraft technician, it's a very great job. Not many people get to do what I do. I feel very fortunate and very lucky. So I'm leaving something very, very valuable in terms of like a life setting to go pursue something that it's likely or possible that it's never actually going to work out. But I'm also one of the most hard-headed people in the world. And when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I mean, I've been through a lot, so I feel like at this point, what's the worst that's going to happen? I leave the military, it shits the bed, and then I have to come back. If that's what I really decide to do, I don't know, man. In life, I feel like you only get one chance at this. And it's only been like in the last maybe year to 2 to 3 years I've really started seeing things this way. But instead of looking at a scenario or a situation of what you think it is, look at what it actually is. And I guess I can summarize this. That's awesome. Let's do water. Whew. I'll use this as an example. And I'm not telling you guys to go and do what I'm going to do. I'm not hinting that you should not work a 9-to-5 job. In all due respect, everyone is entitled to do what they want. I have my own opinion versus my own thing. But when I see my individual life, working for the military is great. The benefits, the pension, the people, like the travel, everything you could think of, it's just awesome. You know, obviously we give up quite a bit to have some of this, I guess, life experience in the military. But I also, when I take a big step out and I look at like my life from like an outsider perspective, I'm working for someone, I'm getting paid by an organization to show up to work every single day, 7 o'clock, and I have to leave at a certain time. I'm told what to do. You're working for something and or someone. And I just want a life Like the goals that I have, the aspirations that we have, my partner and I, unfortunately, it can happen, but for the most part, it's just not gonna happen through this line of work. And the goal of mine is just to be free. It's to be financially free. I don't care about owning a McLaren 720S. I don't care about owning the newest BMW. I don't care about owning really cool things. For me, when I look at long-term down the line, I'm thinking of like, if I just want to go to the restaurant and have a fucking awesome steak with a good dinner, I'm gonna do it. If I can travel abroad, meet you guys, throw you guys on video, record some footage, have fun with it, and be super not anxious on camera and just have a good time and get paid doing that, I'm gonna fucking do it. I think that's just awesome. Yes, it's, you know, you're your own businessman, you're the one who's gonna have to figure it all out, and that's the very difficult part, but that's also the very exciting part. And there's something that makes me wanna just pursue this. And I'm not saying you guys should be quitting your job to go down this whole YouTube route. If you guys want to open up your own business, if you want to pursue just a passion that you're possibly willing to take a big risk, don't screw yourself, but just don't forget it's never really too late. I mean, dude, I turned 30 in a month. You know, if I were to compare myself to, let's just say, YouTubers, and I'll be the first to say I don't consider myself a YouTuber, and I don't consider myself an influencer. So if I ever come off like that, or I feel like I'm trying, I'm not. I'm just trying to create something, my own brand, and I'm trying to create something that will allow me to be free one day. But yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. I don't even know what I was saying. But yeah, I guess I'm just taking a crazy route. Yeah, this is what I was saying. I'm not preaching this so you guys leave your jobs and you go pursue your passion and you screw everything else and then you end up getting screwed in the end. I'm just saying it's never really too late. I'm 30 years old now. And if I were to compare myself to other YouTubers, example, like I was just saying, it'd be very easy for me to be like, well, I'm already 30, 35, possibly kids. You're coming into your 40s in like less than 10 years and people are not going to like you because you're older. And the more I kind of like divide myself on that and I stay on my own path, it doesn't matter at all. It has that's a thought that I think is put in our brains at a very young age. This stupid fucking society thing is just wild of like, you got to go to school, you got to graduate, get a job, have a family, get a house, and like, that's, for me, that's not how the world works. You get one chance, you should really just send it without literally screwing yourself. You got to be smart about it. But that just goes to show you like, hey, look, I'm 30. By the time I even try to pursue my passion, which I'm trying to work on right now, I'm going to be 32 years old. I'm going into my mid-30s to travel the world and vlog. That's essentially what it is. Is anyone going to like watching me when I'm 34 years old and I have a camera in my hand? No, I'm going to have a little bit of gray hair and no one's going to give a shit except for yourself. So anyways, I guess I'll leave the video there. This one's definitely a little bit of a longer one, a little bit more of a rant. But if you could take anything away from it, then that's a win. So if you guys like this type of content, like the video, consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.